All right, so welcome to our tribe call for for the night. I am so excited to have Nikki on with us tonight. Um, Nicole and I actually got together for dinner, I don't know, towards the end of the summer. And we were just kind of discussing things about Instagram and what she's doing and how she's planning content and how she's making it work for her. Because if you follow her, she's super consistent. She has a really cohesive look to everything that she does. She has a very kind of distinct brand with the things that she talks about, and all of her content goes right along with it. And she has just done such an amazing job of kind of branching out into networking with people on Instagram. And she can kind of explain more to you what she's doing and how she's using it. But I thought it would be awesome, since we are really diving in to learn how to use Instagram more, as a lot of us are going to be kind of making the shift to working more on Instagram, that the more the merrier, with the information and kind of skill development we have of kind of what you want your Instagram to look like, how you're going to connect with people, how to use Instagram stories, having a look that's cohesive and pretty when people come see it. So I am super excited for Nicole to share with us tonight, and huge thanks to her, because I know that she had to rush her bedtime schedule, just like all of us.
Ditto bedtime.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, guys. My name is Nikki. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little backstory. I met Dana through coaching. I was doing coaching. Dana was my coach. I loved it. I made so many amazing relationships, friendships. It really started me on my fitness journey, my self-care journey. And then about probably 7 or 8 months ago, I felt called to start doing something else. And I actually self-published a journal. So I've been working on really promoting that. And I am doing that through Instagram. I am not a Facebook person. I've never really been a Facebook person. When it comes to what I use in my free time or for my own personal use, it's always been Instagram. It has never really been Facebook. I love my Facebook group and the groups that I'm in, but I love Instagram. So I just wanted to give you guys some of the tips that I am using to grow my Instagram, to grow those connections, and really build meaningful relationships with people. And I don't have a bajillion followers. Instagram has changed a lot since I started using it. I started using it like probably 5 or 6 years ago, but I wasn't growing a following then. I was just following people. So I don't have a ton of followers. So I am in the trenches with you guys. But when I started building my Instagram, I had probably 700 followers. And in the past probably like a little bit more than a year, I built it to 2,800, but it's a very engaged, connected group of people. So it's always quality over quantity. And having those relationships with the people that are following you and building those connections with people, rather than just trying to get a whole bunch of people that don't care about anything that you're saying. So if you guys have any questions while I'm talking, just drop them in the chat or speak up. I would love to answer all of your questions. And I have 4 kind of talking points that I'm going to talk about, and then I can answer any questions after each of those. So the first thing I wanted to suggest to you guys is to really just explore the app and see what you're drawn to when you are on Instagram. Go to the explore page and see what images pop out to you. Instagram is a very visual platform. So see what pops out to you, go to those pages, see if you're drawn to that page, what is drawing you to that page. Is it the profile picture, the bio? Is it the way that their Instagram looks, or the colors on their feed? Is it the content? Is it the captions? What is drawing you to that person? So that you can get a sort of a kind of idea of what attracts people, what magnetizes people when it comes to Instagram. It's a very, very visual platform. So it's fine and great to get more eyes on your page. And I will talk about that a little bit later, about how to draw more eyes to your Instagram page. But you want them to click that follow button. You want them to land on your page and say, like, I need to follow this person. I want to hear what they have to say. So it's that instant first impression of what someone's going to say, yes, I want to follow you, or no, I don't want to follow you. So just explore the app and see what stands out to you, see what you like, and what kind of draws you in, and then use that on your own Instagram page. I do that often. I will go through the explore page and just see what's kind of jumping out at me, what images are being used a lot, and so those are getting a lot of traction on the explore page. And try to do something similar with it while still staying authentic to you and your message and your vibe and your branding. So Instagram, like I said, is very visual. You want your page to have a branded look. You want your Instagram page to be cohesive. So we all know use the same filters on things. I go a little bit further and I use the same color scheme in all of my photos. And I will talk to you a little bit about how I make this easier for me, because we're not always in a place where that color is. So on my Instagram feed, I use pink, blue, purple as my color scheme with kind of like a neutral background typically. And so it just gives it this really like nice, cohesive, pretty look. So I'm not just using the same filter, I'm using the same color scheme in my pictures, and then I am putting in quotes with black and white on them. So it just looks pretty. When someone lands on the page, it looks professional and it looks like it all vibes together. And that's super important with Instagram. So I also, let me notes, hold on. So with that, I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I create my content. And yeah, you can scope out my Instagram at Soaring Self Love. Thank you guys.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
With your say of like the cohesive look, because this is something like that I have majorly been struggling with. I've downloaded like 700 photo apps.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like I've spent way too much time trying to find a filter that I like. But just like a quick suggestion, because I've been finding like to try and find one that I like, I try like 5 different photos, like in different places, or like a selfie versus like a picture with my kid or whatever, to try and see. And like some filters I love until I get to that one photo and then I'm like, ugh. So what are you doing your filters with, and like what apps would you say?
I'm using a Color Story is the app. I don't know if you guys know that one. It's called a Color Story. I do not even know what the filter is. Hold on, let me see. Because it's just saved, the filter that's saved. Let me see. The filter's free, the one I use. They have some filters in there that you can buy, but I just use a free one. It's called Light Bright. And that's the one I use in the app called A Color Story. Honestly, I feel like a lot of what makes my page look so appealing when you come to it is the color scheme of the page. So
Notice that it's a lot of pink and purple.
yeah. So it just all kind of like vibes together. It just meshes together. And people have asked me, like commented or sent me messages like, how do you create your branding that looks so well together? And it's that simple. I just use the same colors in my pictures. And I will tell you how to make it easy, because when I first thought about doing this, I was like, heck nah, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I create my content and how I plan all my content ahead. I used to post in real time, which meant that I was stressed out about posting. I would have to stop my life to post. I would have to get told by my husband, why you're always on your phone in the middle of family events, or my kids were doing something and I was over here like trying to come up with a caption to post with this picture that I just took, and it was super stressful. It stressed me out. So I decided that I was not going to do that anymore, and I was going to stop posting in real time. And this has made my business so much easier, and it also makes me be able to make my feed look better because I'm not like constantly just trying to find a photo in the moment that will work with it. So what I do is I have my color scheme. So I'll put on like my pink shirt. I will, if I'm somewhere where there's like a pretty background that will match, I'll take a whole bunch of pictures there. I will go and I'll do a bunch of pictures. So I'm like super niching my Instagram down to be super into morning routine. Like that's my thing right now. I'm trying to draw those people that are interested in that. So I will do a lot of pictures in my pajamas. I will do a lot of pictures with my coffee or breakfast or on my yoga mat, that kind of stuff. And when I take those pictures, I take a whole bunch of different ones. So I have a lot of photos in my albums. And every Sunday, I sit down, I go into my Pinterest, I pick out a couple quotes, I scroll through my pictures, and I'll find like a selfie, I will find a yoga picture, I'll find something with morning routine, a picture with my kids. I will come up with all of my photos for the week. I will edit all of them. I will put them into an app I use called Preview. So you can set them all up in that app. And I have an Android, so I'm not sure if it would be the same on an iPhone. And then every morning, I like to write my captions in real time because I just like to go with what I'm feeling in the moment. So every morning after I do my morning routine, I'm feeling that inspiration, motivation, and creativity. And then I will write my caption out. It's super early in the morning, so I'll just write it in my memo pad, and then I post every single day at between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. And I only post once a day, but you can do this if you're posting multiple times a day as well. You can just pick 3 pictures for that day, and you can write all your captions at once if you want, and then just go through and post them as the time comes up throughout the day. And it has been a huge just relief, and I'm able to really think about how I want my Instagram to look, what I want to portray that week, what do I want to focus on that week, and then pick my pictures out and then just write captions based on whatever I'm feeling like that morning. So that has been so incredibly helpful for me, you guys. The other thing about Instagram with your content is just making sure your bio is super clear. It's super niched. It has, you just get super specific on who you're trying to attract. Who is your ideal client? Who are you trying to attract? Get so incredibly specific. I know that you guys probably hear this a lot, but it is very important, and I'm trying to get even more specific. That's what I'm working on right now, just so that I know when I use Instagram personally, I'm usually searching for people that there's a specific reason why I'm trying to find somebody. I want to follow people that, if they're posting family dinners or whatever it is, something specific. So when I land on that page, I want it to be like, yes, this is what I'm looking for. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if this is it. So you just need to get super, super clear on your niche. I know I put morning routine junkie as my name. So I have like my Instagram handle, Soaring Self-Love. Then I have morning routine junkie as my name. And then under that in my description, I have my actual name, because that name feature is searchable. So people could type in morning routine and I will pop up if I'm a part of their followers. So I'll pop up. Whereas if no one's going to be searching for Nikki Shepler when they go to Instagram, there's not. So I put morning routine junkie as my name, and then underneath it, I put Nikki in my bio. I'm reading the comments. Hold on. I post at 7:30, or Ashley said, do you find a specific time of day is best? Is that why you post at 7:30 to 8? I find probably that's not actually the best time for me to post, but it's the time that's working the best for me and my schedule. And if I kind of push it off to later, I end up forgetting to post sometimes. So that's why I do it then. It's just become a part of my routine to post around that time. So just figure out what works best for you. When are you getting the most traction? And then you can build that into your routine. tip in line.
And I think too, it's said a lot, like to be consistent with your posting times so your followers know what to expect, when to expect, which I'm awful at doing that.
People say to me all the time, like, I read your stuff every morning. Even if I don't comment, I read your stuff every morning. So they know that I'm posting in the morning and they go look for it. So I do think that posting at the same time every single day does have benefits because they're knowing when to expect you to post. Planoly is a site to help you plan your posts. Rachel Hollis recommended it. I love her. All right. So any questions about that, content creation, what I'm doing, how to like do brand colors or anything like that? And I'll move to my favorite.
I just have to throw in here. This is what I was telling Nicole, that I was listening to this. I'll have to find it and post it to the team, but it was a podcast about actually taking like a bulk of photos like this so that you have them in an album to pull from. So you're not running around like looking to take photos like I do way too often. But I think for me personally, with like fitness kind of stuff, I would want that to be more real time because it just feels more authentic to me if that's like what I'm doing in the moment.
I was worried about that like when I first started doing this. I heard about it on a podcast also. I wonder if it's the same podcast. Was it Jenna Kutcher? I know you listened to her podcast.
I might have been, yeah. I don't remember.
Okay, so I was worried about that too because I'm like, well, it seems kind of fake. Like it's not me then at that moment. But I feel like I can get my message across so much clearer because I have like that time to just sit down and do it instead of like trying to come up with a caption on the fly. And I can like really think about it and get my message across clearer.
No, I agree with that, but I'm saying like if your body is changing with the
that's true.
then like those have to kind of be updated in real time. But otherwise,
that makes sense.
I totally get that it's still authentic if it's not.
Yeah, because I post pictures now and I'm like, dang, I wish I still had those abs.
I have a question about the filters.
Yeah.
So recently I just completed my like before and after pictures. And before was 8 weeks ago, really before my kids got out of school. And now after, I've been outside with them every day. And it looks like I have used a bazillion filters on my body because my body is way darker than it was 8 weeks ago. Because 8 weeks ago, I was not out in the sun every day. And for the past 8 weeks, I've been at the beach every day with my kids. So I feel like it looks so fake. But I'm not sure how to, like,
I wouldn't worry about it. You have to do you, be authentic. Just, that's your story. That's what it is. And you just have to own it. And I mean, I don't know if people will comment or say anything about that, but if they do, like, really, that's their own issue. Dana, do you have anything to say about that?
No, because I live in Florida and the same thing happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the pool twice and I look like I'm Hispanic. So no suggestions on that
one. I would say if they said it, seeing as that, well, I have a year-round tan, but no one seems to think that I get tan, and I do. I would say if they say anything, though, honestly, I would just be like, well, now I'm more active and I'm outside with my kids. So therefore, sun happens. Like, that's it.
Yep. All right, hold on. Let me see if there are any more.
Should do a post about how healthy it is to get sunshine and vitamin D every day. There you go.
Yeah. Kelly says, I like to save my quotes and do a bunch at a time and save it to an Instagram idea folder on my phone. Yep. I save a whole bunch of quotes at a time. I'll like go through and just pin a bunch of stuff and save it, download it. Okay. All right, so next topic is Instagram stories, my favorite thing ever in the world. I love Instagram stories. Who here is using Instagram stories consistently? Yay! All right, so my tips with Instagram story, my number one tip ever with Instagram story, and I'm sure you guys have heard this one, is that consistency is the number one thing in getting views on your Instagram story. I have way more views on my Instagram story than I have likes or anything on my page. People are using Insta story. I did like some research, I did some polls, I asked on my page, do you like Instagram posts or stories better? Everyone is liking Instagram stories. That's where everyone's hanging out. That's where I'm hanging out. I don't really look at people's pages on Instagram. I'm always just checking out people's stories, seeing what they're up to. And that's kind of where the Insta world is right now. So Instagram stories is so important, and you have to be consistent with it. I noticed that when I kind of like take a little bit of a break or I get lazy with it, not posting as much, my views go down. And every single time, if I'm not posting on there consistently, my views go down. So I have to make a conscious effort to be very, very consistent with it. And this doesn't have to be complicated. So you don't have to, I post like literally the same things every single day. My morning routine, I wake up, oh, here's my coffee, I'm doing my morning routine. Then I talk to you guys for a little bit about whatever's going on in my life. I post some food, I do a little workout, and then I'm hanging out with my kids. Every single day, I post the same thing on my Instagram story, and people are still watching it. I have the same people watching it every single day. So they're still interested, they're entertained. I'm providing them with education and just insights of my life, and just documenting my life and showing them the real deal of who I am. And it shows your consistency. I think people like to see someone with a routine because people want that. They want that in their life. They want those positive routines in their life. So when they see you doing that every single day, they like it because it's something that they want for themselves. And I used to get hung up on that too. Like, is this boring people? Like, I'm doing the same thing every single day. But my views just keep growing and growing and growing, and I'm getting a lot of engagement. And don't feel like, so say you post a poll and only a couple people vote, and you post one of those questions and only one person responds to it. Just keep doing it, and people will get the idea and they will start interacting with you. Because when I first started posting polls, no one was responding, you get discouraged, but I just kept at it, and now I get a lot of response on my polls, I get a lot of response on my questions, I'm getting a lot of engagement, people replying to my stories, but you have to be consistent and just keep at it and use all of the features. So do polls, do questions, do hashtags. I'll talk about hashtags in your stories as well. And I make my stories very branded as well. So not just my page, but my stories are very branded. I use the same filter on all my stories. I use the same fonts on my stories. I have 2 fonts that I use. I use the same colors on my stories. I'm really big in using the GIFs. So I'll do whatever my words are, and I'll put a whole bunch of GIFs all over the place. And it's branded, so people know what to expect, and they like that. They like seeing that consistency. Another thing I do is I use hashtags, and you have to kind of play around and figure out which hashtags are going to give you the best bang for your buck. So there's some hashtags that I use, and I use them all the time because I'll get like 300 views from that one hashtag. So you just have to kind of play around with it. And I noticed that if I'm using them more consistently, then I will get more views from those hashtags, and then that brings followers to your page. So I use journaling. That's a major hashtag I use. I get like 300, 400 views from just that hashtag because I don't know. I'm not an Instagram expert if using them consistently increases your views. But I've noticed that when I use the same ones over and over again, my views go up through those hashtags. So use the hashtags there. And also use your Instagram stories to draw in new people. So when you get eyeballs on your Instagram, if they check out your Instagram stories, it will draw them into your page. It will draw them to follow you and to start viewing and watching your Instagram on a regular basis. So just make sure that you are updating it, providing value, making it fun and entertaining, being yourself, showing up as you. And I don't make it difficult. Like, I literally just document my day, and it's a 15-minute or 15-second little clip, and I just document my day as I go through my day. I talk to the camera. I think that people really like to see your face, your personality coming out. I'm constantly like phone in my face, talking to them, telling them what's going on in my world. I try to do that at least once a day. Really have like maybe like 3 or 4 clip me just talking to them and telling about what's going on. Because they really connect to that. I get a lot of replies on that with people that are connecting to me. And the best part is that the same people are viewing my Insta story every single day. So these are people that care. They care what's going on in my world. And they know that I care about them and I interact with them. And I'll talk to you about how I do that as well. Any questions on that? Any questions about Insta story? I do the clips usually, not so much live. Ashley.
Nikki, do you tag places in your
I've done that a little bit, but I don't
IG?
I do tag places, but not as much as I probably should. The thing I get a little bit worried when I tag places because a lot of times I'm out with my kids, and so I just don't want to tag the place.
Well, I had heard often, like I tag places typically that I'm not at because I'm in like a very small town most of the time. So I'll tag like a lot of other places because if I tagged here, it's a population of 1,500. So pretty much it's like.
Do you get a lot of people viewing it that way?
I do. Yeah, it depends on where I tag, but yeah, I do. So, and it depends how like much time or energy I have, and if I like, I just was curious if you. Like if I should be tagging and hashtagging every single place. I mean, every single clip I post or every single.
I don't. I see. Well, I like to see. I like to switch it up to see how many views I get and what I'm getting based on what I'm doing. So I will switch it up. Like sometimes I'll just put a location tag. Sometimes I'll do a hashtag. A lot of times I don't do anything and I'm just talking to them. So I like to switch it up. I've actually seen a company ask someone to remove the tag because they weren't there. Really? Wow.
A lot of times when I tag, I just tag like local, like closer towns to me, but not my actual town, especially after I had the whole stalker deal. Like, I'm not really feeling.
Yeah, I do towns and cities too, totally.
So I'll tag in like Tampa or Orlando or, like a surrounding area.
Yeah, actually. Town, cities, but yeah, I do like more general like cities, like my city, but not actually where I'm at. But I do that probably maybe like once a day or once every couple days. I use hashtags a lot though in my stories. Any questions about that?
Nikki, for people that are just kind of starting out on Instagram, we've done a team call on hashtags a little while back, but like for you and specifically with trying to like brand down and niche down, like how would you suggest that people find like a set of maybe 5 to 10 hashtags that they're going to be using in their stories? Like, would you suggest they find 30 and use them to see how it affects views or what?
I would say trial and error. Start with some hashtags that are very specific to your niche. So I will use things like morning routine, early riser, early bird, journaling, self-care, self-love, those kind of things, and just start using them more often and see how your views are going up. And then if they're not, switch it out, try something different and see what's happening there. So I would say just trial and error. A lot of this is just trial and error. See what works for you. Anything else? Nope. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about how to gain some followers, what I'm doing to gain followers, and then also how I'm collaborating with people on Instagram and how that's been so helpful, super easy, and it gets more eyeballs on my stuff. So the first thing you need to think about is who is your ideal client following? What is some big name person that your ideal client is following? I use a lot of the time Rachel Hollis because I'm looking for people that are already motivated in the personal development world, but just kind of want to elevate that. So I will go into one of her recent pictures, open it up, look at the people that liked it, and then I will just look at the profile picture. It has to be something that kind of I connect with. I will open it up. I'll like 6 of the pictures and follow that person. And then I do use the cleaner app. So I go through at the end of the week, and whoever hasn't followed me back, I will unfollow them. But kind of watch what happens when people follow you, or when you want to go and follow somebody, what is drawing you to follow them? So if someone follows me and all they do is follow me, I don't even look at their page. I honestly don't even look at their page. If someone likes a whole bunch of my pictures and then follows me, I will look at their page typically and see if it's something that draws me in. The other day, somebody just liked one of my photos and left a really long, thoughtful comment, like a 3-sentence comment, and it intrigued me. I was like, wow, who is this person? And I went to her page. I didn't feel drawn to it, so I didn't follow her back, or she didn't even follow me. I didn't follow her, but I'm just saying that intrigued me. That brought me to her page. So as people are interacting with you on Instagram, think about, okay, wow, this is drawing me in. This makes me curious about who they are, and start doing that. I know that a lot of times people will say just go through and follow a whole bunch of people. I have tried that. I don't get very many people that follow me back doing it that way. I need to actually go into their page and connect with them, comment, like, and follow them, and then I will get a much better response rate back on people who follow me back. And I'm checking out their page to see, is this someone that I would actually connect with? I'm not just following a whole bunch of randoms. I'm checking to see, is this someone that I would actually connect with? And then I am connecting with them and following them.
I think that's a really important one, because it's like the quality over the quantity. Because if you have a ton of people that follow you that have zero interest in what we're doing as coaches, it's not going to be helpful anyways. So I really like that.
And if I have zero interest in it, then there's going to be really no means for me to form a connection with them. So it has to be, I look at the person's profile. I'll even check out their story sometimes. Take a little bit of time, take the extra effort, because it will pay off in the long run.
So I have something to add real quick. We had a call last week about, brought up Captivate and one other, what was that other program that was paid? I can't remember. Anyway, Captivate is like the same company as Cleaner, Dana, what you were just like talking about in the chat. But anyway, Captivate, you can go in and you can just like batch follow people, which a lot of people, like a lot of like MLMs are doing. So in the last week, what I've gone ahead and done, and what was time consuming for me was like, at Summit, they talked about like like 5 of their photos, comment like thoughtfully on 2 or 3 of them, and then follow them, and then they're going to go back and maybe follow you. And that was working for me. But to be honest, it was just so time consuming. I felt like I was only getting around to like maybe 10 people per day. So what I've done instead is I just went ahead and started just following. I go to their profiles, I check them out, like to see what I can see, and I follow them anyway. And for those of, there's a few of them who would follow me back, and either way, if they don't have a private feed, I'm still able to like comment on their feeds. And Instagram, when you first follow someone, their pictures are going to be like higher on your feed, like the next time you log in. And so what I've been doing is thoughtfully commenting and liking through all the photos that pop up on my feed. So I'm kind of doing it a little bit backwards, where I'm like following first and then going back and then like making sure I'm commenting on their posts. So I'm getting some traction at going that route too. And then I'll use the cleaner to clean up anybody who's not following me at the end of the week. So
see, I dealt with the same thing, where I felt like it was very time consuming to go through like 5 pictures, comment on 3 pictures. It's a lot of work. So what I've been doing lately is I just go in and I like 6 of their pictures. It's quick. And then I follow them. That gets
You're not commenting. You're not like.
I'm not commenting. And then I will comment, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing. I honestly don't do a lot of commenting on Instagram. I like them when I first initially connect with them. I follow them, and then I send them a message. And I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing there.
Okay.
I'm trying to draw them honestly into my story. So that's what I'm doing. And then I will talk to you about how I'm connecting with the people that are watching my story, because those are my people. Those are the people I want to connect with.
Right.
I just want to throw a suggestion in here because this is something where I was telling Ashley today, and it's something I'm putting in the Instagram section of our new coach training. But thinking about doing your Instagram connections in bulk rather than like 5 to 10 a day and sitting down and feeling like you have to like get in the groove and like do the follow, comment, all that kind of stuff. And if you were to set aside like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day and just do bulk connections, that's my plan. Because
do you mean 2 to 3 times a week, not a day?
Yes. Well, I mean,
seems intense.
I'm gonna be really adamant about it.
Just dedicate like 4 hours a day. It's no big deal. That's all you gotta do.
2 to 3 times a week. Just because I feel like personally my brain takes a little while to shift from like each task that I'm doing. And if I'm in my groove on Instagram and I'm making connections and I'm like happy doing that I can easily do it for 45 minutes to an hour and do the same amount that I would do over the course of 5 or 6 days if I were to break it up in little increments. And to me, that feels better. So do whatever works for you.
And I'll talk about what I do there in a few minutes. Okay, so gaining followers, another way you can do it is just going to the Explore page, finding people that you think you would connect with, liking their stuff, following them. And then the other way that I've been really digging into recently, this month, my plan is to really, really dig into this, is collaborate with people, collaborations. So that would mean not other Beachbody coaches, because that is your competition. That's someone, you're trying to get the same, they're trying to do the same thing. This would be other people who are trying to build their Instagrams. You need to incentivize it to them, something for you to work together. So this could be somebody in another MLM that maybe isn't health and fitness related. So maybe some oils, maybe someone that does unique or makeup or something like that who's trying to build their Instagram. Some mom bloggers, someone who does blogging, or just other people that run businesses on Instagram. And you guys can work together to share your audience with each other. You can do this through giveaways. I have done giveaways with people, and I have gotten a huge response on this. I did a journal giveaway, and I got like 300 people that entered the giveaway. So just, you can do some sort of a giveaway, and you team up with somebody and say, hey, you want to do a giveaway with me? And then see if you guys kind of mesh and connect with each other. And then they'll post about it on their page, which will draw their audience to your page. You post about it on your page, it draws the audience to their page. You guys are both benefiting from it.
So you like tag each other in it?
Yeah, so in the giveaways that I've done, I said, hey, do you want to do a giveaway with me? They said yes. Okay, I'm back. It like popped up, you're muted. All right. Oh, it says I'm muted. Am I muted or am I good?
You're good.
Okay, it said I'm muted again. All right. So I posted, I'm doing a giveaway of this item. I'm teaming up with so-and-so. Here's the rules to enter the giveaway. So what they had to do was they had to follow me and the other person. They had to go to, it was on their page, their post, and tag a friend. And then for every person that they tagged, they got another entry into the giveaway. So those people were coming from my page to her page, following her, tagging their friends, coming back to my page, following me. And I got a lot of eyes on my stuff that way. So this month I'm really focusing in on that. And you can do shout outs. You can just find people that you connect with and shout them out on your story. And a lot of times they'll return the favor and shout you out. You can come up with some sort of a freebie that you can offer their audience, and that will pull eyeballs on to you. So you can give this freebie to their audience and they will say it's from this person. That will bring them over to your page. Another thing you can do is maybe some sort of a group training. So you can hook up with maybe another MLM, or you can hook up with maybe someone who, I don't know, does, if I say I'm doing self-care, I have my self-care group and you want to collaborate with me. You can come say, hey, I would love to do a training in your group about fitness and the benefits of exercising for 20 minutes a day. And that would benefit me because that's providing value to my team, my group. And it benefits you because it's giving them that connection to you so that they can go back and follow you, connect with you. And it's just super easy to get multiple people without doing all the manual work, if that makes sense. Do you guys have questions on that? No? So I'm really digging into that this month. I honestly just went through this morning and sent a bunch of messages out to people to see if they wanted to collaborate. And another thing is a lot of the bloggers, they do this a lot. So they will actually have in their profile DM for collabs. And that means they're open to collaborating with you. They're looking for that. So connect with those people. All right. The last thing I wanted to talk about is connections, and what my process is for connecting. And Dana hit this on the head when she says to do this in batches. What I do is every Monday, and this does take time, so I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. This takes a lot of time, but every Monday morning, I go into my story and I look at the views from my first story from the prior day. I'll have a lot of views there. And I will go into each person who has viewed my story, and you can set a timer on this if you want, if you don't want to like go crazy, but I will go to, so if it's someone I've already connected with in direct message, I'll go to their page, I'll like some of their stuff, I'll go into their story, I'll reply to their story so we can build that connection, have that relationship, keep talking to each other. And then anyone new who is watching my story, and typically this is around like 20 new people a week, I will go to their profile, like some of their stuff, and I will send them a message and just say, hey, usually it's moms because that's what I'm connecting with. I say like, hey mama, oh my God, I love your page so much. I love connecting with other moms on Instagram. You seem like you're such a fun mom. Your kids are so cute. How old are they? Something like that. I'll find something where we can literally, I compliment them on their page, tell them I love connecting with other moms, and I send those messages out. So I try to do 20 of those every single Monday. If I run out of people on my story, I will just go to my page and find people who I haven't connected with yet, and I will send them some messages as well. So I do that every Monday. Then throughout the week, we're just connecting. We're just talking about anything, life. I'm asking them questions. They're asking me questions. We're just forming that bond, building that relationship. I'm connecting with the people who I've already spoken with, who I'm replying to their stories. We're just chatting back and forth. That's kind of how I spend the rest of my week. And then I have a free group. So every Friday, I have a message. I send it to them, just says, hey, I'm not sure if you're interested, but I just want to let you know that I run a Facebook community all about self-love, self-care, and personal growth. I think you would really like it. I'm not exactly sure what it says, but something along the lines of that. And then I just send them the link to the group, and I get a lot of them joining into my group that way. And then I provide them with a ton of value in that group. So every single day I'm in there, I'm posting, I'm responding to all the comments, and doing live trainings every single week in there. And I'm just building that connection. And those are the people that are purchasing my journal. These are the people that are telling me, thank you so much for what you're doing. I'm going to be launching a program soon. These are the people I'm going to be reaching out to because I have built that bond with them. And they watch me on my story almost every single day. So they feel that connection to me. And I kind of pull them in. I also pull people into my story when I message them. They'll go and check out my page. So if it's someone who wasn't watching my story that I just found on my feed and I message them, it pulls them into my page, and a lot of times they'll start watching my story as well. And that's where I'm really providing a lot of the value, connection, and drawing people in and to join my group. So you guys have any questions about that?
Say that last part again, if you don't mind. Like you're talking about like drawing them into your page and then into your story.
So most of the time I'm connecting with the people that are watching my story, the new connections that I'm making. I'm talking about new connections. If I run out of people for that week, I didn't have too many new viewers, I will just go onto my Instagram page and find people who I haven't connected with yet. By making that initial connection, they will go and check out my Instagram page. They're already following me, but they might not have really looked at my page too much. a lot of times they will look at my story. And because my story is very consistent and I'm providing a lot of value, trying to be funny and educational and all that stuff there, they will start becoming consistent viewers of my story after that. And Instagram stories is where it's at.
Got it. Okay. All right. That makes.
Anything else?
Everybody looks sleepy.
It's late. I'm sleepy.
Except Lauren over there, because it's still early. Does anybody have questions for Nikki? Do you feel like you're excited to start implementing some of this stuff?
There's going to be one of the nights where I'm up late because I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do this. Now I'm going to go do this. Now I'm going to do this. And then in the morning, I'm going to go do this.
I would say personally take like 3 things that you're going to tackle first, maybe, and then start working on the others, because sometimes if you try to do it all at once, it's really overwhelming, and then you just don't really do anything at all because it can be overwhelming.
Nikki, what time do you wake up in the morning?
Between 4 and 4:30.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. I'm a freak.
Oh my God, Dana, she's worse than I am.
I'm crazy lunatic. I know.
Every time I get on Instagram at like 8:30 after I get home from dropping Declan, I see her 4:30. I'm like, girlfriend, I don't even.
Wait, what time do you go to bed?
I'm in a REM sleep cycle.
Are you up past your bedtime right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I usually go to bed around like 9:30.
Okay.
Typically. What was the filter you used? I used the app A Color Story, and the filter is called Light Bright, and it's a free filter. Ooh. Annalisa says rebranding seems like a major task right now. Yeah. But don't overcomplicate it. Like start, if you want, pick one thing to start with. If you want to start with your actual feed, just start there. And just take it step by step. So change up your bio. What do you want to focus on? And then just take it step by step. 10 photos.
What do you, so to rebrand and everything, would you suggest going through like our super old posts from like that are super old and like not really cohesive with what we're doing now? You know, like from before I was a coach, and like removing those so everything looks cohesive, or just and start from where we're at?
And you know, honestly, there's times like when I went on vacation and we were out in nature a lot, none of those pictures, I want to share those pictures. None of them are going to go with my theme, my Instagram. I posted them anyway. And then when I got back, I just picked it back up where I left off. So you don't have to like super overthink it. Aw, thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, I went through a major rebranding, and I'm actually kind of going through that now because I'm trying to niche down like super, super specific with my morning routine stuff. So it's a lot of work, but I think once you get super clear on that mission, it makes it easier to come up with content because you know who you're speaking to and you know what you're trying to convey. So, I mean, it's really easy for me to come up with content, and it's super easy for me to pick my pictures that I'm using for the week. It takes me literally like 15 minutes to pick all my pictures that I'm using for the week. Because I kind of know, like, I know what I want to be posting. I need your morning routine info.
Everybody, if you're not in Nikki's self-love community on Facebook, you should be.
Yep, it's called the Soaring Self-Love Club. Check it out.
If you want to post it in the team page, you can.
Okay, well, I will do that.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you, Nikki. This was super helpful. I'll get the recording up later tonight, and we'll see everybody next.
Hey, Dana, hold up. Can I just say one quick thing?
Yep.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out because Chrissy's on here too. Okay, for a minute I didn't see Chrissy. I just wanted to shout out Molly, who is on her first team call tonight. She is Chrissy's coach, and she did her first coming out as a coach post today, and she's on the first team call. So just a big shout out. Yay. So that's all.
Thank you.
Yay.
And I made it through this with all the medication I'm on, so I'm very excited.
Yay. Go get rest.
Yeah.
We have a lot of overcoming warriors on this team. You're very, you fit in well here.
My lovely brace that I will be wearing for the next
girl.
week and a half, 2 weeks.
No.
I have that same t-shirt, by the way.
That's funny.
All right, ladies.
All right.
We'll see you next week. Thank you, Nikki.
Bye, guys.
Bye.